Welcome you all for the second session of 2 days online workshop, Basics of MATLAB and its engineering application. So I am Priyanka here to deliver the session 2. Session 2 is related with variables, operators, special commands in MATLAB. So there is a large set of data is available in MATLAB. To handle that data, to manipulate that data, we need some variables, operators and commands to execute that data sets. Then very firstly, what is variable? Variable is quantity to be changed by the end user as per the requirement. So there are some set of rules to set the variable name. So the first rule says the variable names must be start with a letter. So the variable name should be name, var name, it is a capitalization of letters are allowed, count, temp. Then second rule is it may contain only letters, digits and underscore, means it is a combination of these all. So variable name should be num1, value underscore in, then value 1, 2, 3 are allowed. The next one, MATLAB is a case sensitive language, so lowercase characters and uppercase characters variable considered as a different variable. MATLAB only recognize 31st characters in variable name. Input variable name should contain letters and digits. So out of this string of name, only first 31st characters are considered as a variable name. Then variable should assign some value and with some expression followed by the equal to sign. So we have to set the variable with variable name equals to some number. For example, t is the variable equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. So this value is set to the variable t. Here in the MATLAB, the assignment is done with the right to left. So right hand side value will be assigned to the left hand side variable name. So the same assignment for the expression variable name equal to some expression. So t equals to a plus b. So a plus b operations outcome is variable t. Then there are some special kind of predefined variables are available in MATLAB, like mathematical function pi. There is a default variable name. If we are not putting any variable name, then it takes a default value as ans, then epsilon, then infinity. For infinity, inf is a variable name. So there are multiple predefined functions in MATLAB. We'll see at the time of demonstration. So next is there are some commands involved with the variable. So to display the variable list that are defined by user, so that list we can fetch with the command who, and that list content or that list size and details about that list of variable is get from the command whos. So this clear command, clear name command, clc command to clear the screen, clf command to clear the figure window. So like that multiple variable related commands are there. Then format function. So default format is considered as a short. If we are not giving any format to the variable, so it automatically or it take default the format as a short format. So there are different formats to display the variable. So like format short, format long. In format short, it display the fixed value with the 5 decimal places. Then format long with the fixed point value with the 15 decimal spaces. Some floating point values are also format using format short e, format long e, like that. Format compact is used to suppress the extra line field format. So it take the default format as a double for the integer value. So like that we can set the format for the different functions or different variables. Next are the operators. Operators are the symbol which tells compiler to do the operation on that variables. So that variables will be defined by the users. So what is meant by compiler? So what is the task of compiler? The compiler convert the high level language to the machine level language. Our MATLAB language is the high level language, which by the compiler it convert to the low level language. So there are some standard operators we using for the mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, left division, right division, like that. Some point-wise operators are also there. If we are defining some array or matrices we are defining in the variable, then point-wise operator do the operation element by element. It will do the operation element by element addition, subtraction, multiplication kind of operations we can do with these point-wise operators. Then some logical operators are there. Logical operators are used to compare two variables. Either they are equal, greater, less, greater than or equal to, not equal to, so like that. For logical operator, we are considering true value as value 1 or one value as considered as a true and 0 is considered as a false value. So to define the logical operations comparison, we use these logical operators. Then there are some special commands which used to import and export the data from the file to the workspace and from command window to the file. There is a special command for importing and exporting data. We can import the data using import wizard from the file or from the workspace, or we can use the command save and load of variable to the file as well as to the workspace. So we'll see the demonstration of these two commands very shortly. Next, then there are some mathematical functions also available. So like absolute values we are defining, some trigonometric functions we can use, then calculate some fixed value, round value, square root, some complex number and real number can find from this function. Then some more mathematical functions to get the maximum and minimum value from the array. If we define the array in the variable, then we can find the maximum out of that and minimum out of that. We can sort that element in ascending order or in descending order. We can get the differences and some natural numerical gradient of that number. For the set of variable, we can do the mean operation, median operation, standard deviation and some variance kind of function, mathematical function we can do with the commands. Now let's switch to the MATLAB desktop. So we have to do the practice on this command window for the variables, for operators and commands. So here we start with our basic commands. We start with the defining the variable in the command window. So right now we are in the current directory, that is in C folder MATLAB Workshop 20 Session 2. If we set the variable as value equals to 100, then that value, the 100 value is stored in the variable name as value, and that value is get displayed in the workspace. So in workspace, if we click on value, then it define in one by one double value. So it automatically take double as a class for the variable value, and it is stored in some Excel kind of sheet, so which contains some rows and column, and we have only one value at this time to the value variable, that is 100. So we can change that value from here. Again same, set value equal to 200, then automatically it get that value is get changed in the variable window, that is 200. At the same time, see in the workspace the value becomes 200. So like that we can set the value in the workspace. And next, if we don't know the class of this value type of variable, then use command class and we are defining the value. So that value is belong to the double class. Now we have to convert that value format to the short. Then we have to define the format as a short. Then set the format. Then again we have to display value. We call the value. Now this is the call the value, and when we set the value, then it is assigning or declaring the value. Now here we call the value as 200. Now here we cannot specify the difference in between double and short, but we can check the class of that value. It is again double, so it is only displaying kind of function is get from the format short. If we define next value 1 equal to some float value we are defining. So it is 10.47589. So like that, some floating point we are defining, some decimal value we are defining. Now in the short format, we are defining 10.475876. So 6 decimal point places after the decimal point, but we are getting 10.4759. It is 4 decimal places after the decimal point. So it is a format for short. Now we have to change the format for long. So what long format will get? Long format will get 15 decimal places after decimal point. So hit enter and again call for value 1. So 15 places after decimal point will get. This is a long format. Now again check for format compact. What will get? We get the compact format for value. That compact format is for string variable, sorry. So we'll see format bank. So 2 decimal places we get from this format bank, 2 decimal places after the point. So there are 3 formats we check for this decimal point variable: format short, format long and format bank. Now clear the screen using command clc. Now in the workspace we create the 3 variables as value 1, value and some answer. We check the class of that value, so that we will get the value as answer. Now see, this is our first predefined variable. For example, if we are defining 23 number directly, then what we'll get? 23 number is automatically saved in ANS variable. So that ANS variable is stored in workspace and value is get updated that 23. And next, there are some more predefined functions are there. Now next function is the pi function. If we write pi, then it automatically get value 3.14. If we call the value of infinity, then it is a infinity value will be stored in variable. So these are some predefined variables which are already stored in the MATLAB. We can use that variables directly. Now if we are to calculate the area of circle, so we are defining some radius for the circle is equals to 4 centimeter like that, and we are calculating area equal to some expression we need to write here directly. So what is the area of circle? That is pi r square. So how we write pi? We write pi as a variable name because pi is already stored in our library. Then r radius raised to 2. We can write raised to 2 or we can write radius into radius also. Now the area is get calculated. Area of this circle is 50.26. So this area is stored in our workspace. Now we have to store this area and radius to some file. Now how we save this area and radius in file? Now we use save command. Save area of circle file. Now we create one file whose name is area of circle. Is automatically generated in our current directory with the default extension .mat. So that file is stored in matrix format. Now we have to store the variables in this file as radius. Radius we have to store in this file. So to the area of circle, here is the description of file is get. Area of circle have one variable we are currently stored, that is radius. Now again next variable is also stored in our file, that is area. Now again this file get information area stored. Where is the radius? Radius is get overwritten by this area. If we are to set two variables with the same time, then we have to define the two variables at the same time. So save area of circle is the file name, area and radius are the variables. So these two variables can be stored at the same time in the same file. Okay. Now if we want to clear our screen, if we write command clear, then what it says, it clear all the workspace from here. Now we are to get the workspace again from the given files. Right now we are storing two variables in area of circle.mat file. Now we have to load that variable to the workspace again from the file. Then we use load command. Load, our file name is area of circle.mat. So that area of circle.mat file contains these two variables. These two variables, when we load the value of this file, then we'll get to the workspace. Means we are loading the variables from file to workspace with the command load. Okay. Now clear the screen. Now next, if we want to check how many variables we are created till now, then we use who command. Who means right now who is in the workspace. That information is given by the who command. So your variables are area and radius. If we add more variables like radius 1 equals to 2.5 like that. So that 2.5 radius 1 is also stored. Then we again check who. So there are variables that are area, radius and radius 1 are available in workspace. Now again next command is whose. Whose means with the details of each and every variable we'll get from the command whose. So what are the name of variables, what is the size of variable, how many bytes it gets stored, which that variable belongs to which class. So that all information displayed with the command whose. If we are changing the format to short, now area becomes like this, radius become this and radius 1 become this. Now again check for whose. Now the information is same because we are storing numeric value in this variable. So the byte content, it is a 8 byte, class is double and there is no attribute till now. We are assigning to that variable. Now clear the screen to take more examples. If you want to take the string as an input, so our input is, we create one variable first, that is name. Name equals to, we put the variable name equal to some string, so it become a string format string. So we check for the class of name. So what will it get? It get class as character. So we are setting name variable with some string value with some character value, so the class is get changed, that is a character class. Likewise we can input the string using input command. For example, x is equals to, enter x. So this is the user defined input, we can say. So x is get what it asks for user. If we set x is equals to input, enter x. So in command window we need to enter, or what we need to put. So we have to put the value for x, then only our output is get executed. So output is get executed. We are defining variable x and we are getting input from the user, so that is 12 number. So our x contain value 12 from the input. If we want to display the input, so disp command is there, so we have to display x. So x value is get display, or we display area. So we have to write disp area. So we already calculate the area, that is 50.2655. So that output is get display on the screen. So these are some display and some user defined input commands are there. Now some mathematical operations are done with the variable. So basic mathematical operations are addition, multiplication, which is already seen in the last session. But again, if we enter a is equals to suppose 20 and b is equals to suppose 35, and we are do the operations on this variable like a plus b. So a plus b result will store in value c. So it get addition of that two variables is stored in c. So likewise, if we perform d is equals to a divided by b, what it get? A is get divided by b. So that is a right hand division is performed, that is 20 by 35 will get 0.5714. If we do E equals to, or if we do D1 equals to A by B, so left hand division is performed, that is 35 by 20. Result we get that is 1.75. So likewise we can perform these arithmetic operations. Now we are to perform some logical operations. So logical operations are related with some AND function, OR function. AND is nothing but if we have two variables with value true and false. True and false are the logical operation variables, 0 and 1s we say, bitwise operation we say. If we have two variables with value true and false, then perform the logical operation like AND operation, OR operation, NOT operation. So what is AND operation? ANDing is nothing but if we set two variables value is true, then only we'll get output is true. Means if one of the variable is false, then we'll get output as also false. That is AND operation. What is OR operation? If we have two variables which contain some true values and some false values, out of that if one of the value is true, then we'll get value true or we'll get output true. NOT operation, if A has true value and we are performing NOT on A, that it get reverse outcome. Means NOT of A becomes false. If A set value true, then NOT of A becomes false. We'll do some logical operation here. We set A is equals to suppose true we say. So true is the predefined function. We'll check here what is the default value of true, that is 1. What is default value of false, that is 0. So we can set A equals to true and B equals to false. What is our first operation? We have to perform A and B. AND operation is performed by this symbol, that is ampersand. A ampersand B perform A and B. We can add a comment here. AND operation. So what will get output? 0. Why? Because our A value is true and B value is false. What AND say? If one of the value is false, then output is false. We need both the value is true, then only we'll get 2. We change the value as B equals to true. Then again check A and B. Now what is the outcome? A and B operation outcome is true or 1. Why? Because both the values of A and B are true, so that our outcome become true. Now we'll check for OR operation. We'll check for OR application. We set B is equals to false. Now what is value of B? B is 0 and A is 1. Means B is false, A is true. We'll do the operation as A or B. So OR symbol is nothing but the key below the backspace. So that is A or B operation. If A is true and B is false, then our outcome become true, because one of the quantity is true, so that outcome become true. We perform not A. So what is not A? So it gives the reverse outcome, that is 0, but we have A equals to 1. So it is an inverse operation we will perform. So these are some logical operations we have seen. Now we'll do some relational operations. So what is relational operations? Relational operations are the comparison between the two variables. Again we set two variables as x is equals to 89. Suppose we set age of son. Son age is equals to 25 and father age equals to 52. So these two variables we create, that is age of son and age of father. We have to do the comparison in between age of father and age of son. Now we can check age of son is greater than father age. This statement is true. So in return of this statement we get the result as true or false. If this statement is true, then we'll get result true. If this statement is false, then we'll get result false. Now we'll get result 0. So what 0 means? Will result false. Now next condition we can apply here. Age of son is less than age of father. Is it a true statement? Yes, it is a true statement because we get the result 1. So result is true. Now my age equals to 25 again. Okay, I will check my age equal to age of son. I put equal to sign. So it is equals to relational operators. Equal operation is done with a double equal to sign. If my age is equals to age of son, then we'll return 1. If we change my age is 29, and again I will check for the condition my age equals to age of son, then it return value false because my age is 29 and son's age is 25, so it gives the result 0. Next we will set the value of array in the variable. Now we create the ARR variable equals to, we have to create the array in the square bracket. Always create the array in the square bracket. Always create the matrices in the square bracket. We are entering the number as 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 elements we are entering in the array. Array is nothing but the set of variables which are defined in 1-dimensional, 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional or multi-dimensional, like matrix. If we define the array in this single row, then it become a vector also. So it is a row matrix we say. This single dimensional array is nothing but the row matrix. So if we hit enter, then it get the result as ARR store these 4 values. Now we have to check the indexes of this array. How we check that indexes of the array? So indexes of array in MATLAB start with the 1. At first index 1 is stored, at second index 2 is stored, at third index 3 is stored, and at fourth index 4 value is stored. Now we have to check with the index 2. So at index 2 which value is stored? So it stored value 2. And we define one more array 1. So value become 2, 9, 8. Or we can define the array separated by commas also, 2, 5, 8, 9, like that. Close the square bracket. Now again we check the index for array 1. So it become 5. So what it gives? It gives value at second index. Now if we are considering this array and array 1 are the two sets, then perform some operations on these two sets. Then first operation is intersect. So intersect of array A, array and array 1. So what is the common part in between these two array? 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 5, 7, 9. What is the common part? So that is 2 number is common in between these two array. We are defining one more array, array 2, that is 1, 2, 7, 3, 9, 4, like that. And hit, okay, equal to sign is missing. Okay, hit enter. Then array 2 contain 1, 2, 7, 3, 9, 8, 3, 9, 4 number, and again we check the intersect array 1 and array 2. So what is the common part in this 4 array? Okay, we cannot, invalid input is there. Okay, we check for once again. ARR has this, ARR1 has these values, ARRY2 has these values, and again ARRY 3 element we are creating, that is 1, 5, 8, 9 and 3 suppose. Now check for the intersection for array 2 and array 3. First 2 is get cleared. Okay, now hit enter. Now from array 2 and array 3, these 3 numbers are common or intersect each other. Again we can use union of these two array 2 and array 3. So these two arrays get combined in the union. So these are some methods of set. So we can check for a sorted set also. We can sort the ARR Y2. So sorting in ascending order 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9. Array 2 contain 1, 2, 7, 3, 9, 4. So this array is random array and we are sorting in ascending order using command sort. Now clear the screen. And check for next. Now clear the screen and check for next command. Now if we have array and we have to check for minimum number from this array, then what is the minimum number? 1 is minimum from this array list or from this set. Now check with the maximum number from this array. If we don't know, we have array of 100 number and all the numbers are in random manner, and we have to check for minimum and maximum number from the array, then we'll use this to command. So what is the maximum number? That is 4. We can also calculate the mean of this array element also. So what is the mean of this array element? So it is 2.5. We can calculate standard deviation using std of variable name. So this std of array, round bracket, inside round bracket we write the variable name, and std is the function. So this function has the variable array. So this is the meaning of this syntax. It is a function of x. Function is standard and x is the array, that is variable. So standard deviation is calculated for this given array. So likewise we can do the multiple operations performed on the array element. So likewise most of the variables, operators and functions we learned in this session, and this is the exercise 2 based on this session. You have to find out the answers for this session and do the practice, and more focus on the practice. Get the help from the MATLAB, get the help from mathwork.com, and do the operations, do the variable, set the variable in MATLAB window, and access that variable using save and load command, and perform these operations or perform this exercise. In next session we learn about vectors and matrices and their operations, some analyzing and visualization kind of operations we will see in the next session. Thank you for watching this session. If you have any doubt, then drop your message in the comment box. Thank you.